Great day, attractive thinker and visual encouragers around the world. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. This is where we support new and aspiring entrepreneurs in writing your books, launching your business ideas. We support you with tools that help you get through the mental healing, the mindset shifts that you have to take, the clutter that takes place in the mind when you're pursuing your goals, any type of change that you desire in your life. You're going to cause a mental disruption. And we're here to provide tools to support you in being mentally strong and for mindset maintenance. Once you accomplish these mental levels in your life, you want to maintain that. You don't want to keep waffling back and forth between I'm strong one day and you're weak the next day. I can do it one day and I can't the next day. Welcome my co-host Tichet Bradshaw to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance.
Happy Mindset Monday, everybody. We made it through another week. We get to do what we've never done, go where we've never gone, and have all that we deserve to have in this lifetime. It's a great day to be alive.
It is a fantastic and amazing day to be alive. Attractive thinkers and visionaries, I trust that you have your Attractive Thinker notebook handy because we don't waste gems. We know that we need them along the way. If you don't need them now, you're going to need them later. And I want to remind you, and I first want to thank all of the attractive thinkers and visionaries around the world for accessing your copy of the Attractive Thinker on Amazon. It is a powerful tool. This 726-page transformational experience supports you. It gives you the foundation, the mental foundation that you need to accomplish your goals as a new and aspiring entrepreneur. It supports you with those roadblocks. It gives you the tools that you need, the strategies that you need. It helps you understand yourself because I said to Shet, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs around the world have said it, and leaders as well. The entrepreneurial journey is the greatest personal growth and development journey on the planet, in my experience. It will cause you to get in touch with yourself. It will cause you to face and overcome those fears of speaking up, fears of pricing your products and services the right way, fears of even offering your gifts and services to the world, to your clients and customers. You know, we go through internal shifts in order to manifest our greatness. Some internal shifts have to happen, and we need tools for that because there are blind spots and you don't know what these shifts are. You don't know where the fears are. You don't know where the trauma is. You don't know what your skills are or what you're good at, or you could be trying to be successful in one area which is not your area of giftedness. You know, the Attractive Thinker book will give you clarity in these areas. Today we're going to be talking about peace disturbance, the break that you need. And we're gonna get clear on this because, you know, if you've been following us on our YouTube channel Beyond the Break 2020, I want to thank you for the likes, thank you for the shares, thank you for subscribing and commenting. We love the comments. You know, we love the feedback, the gems that you're gathering from these episodes. Post your gems below today. Let other attractive thinkers who may not have been here in the attractive thinker generation in our community as long as you have, let them see the gems that you've captured along the way so that they too can get the same transformational experience and break that you did. So when we talk about peace disturbance, the break that you need, you might be entering into a break. You might be in the middle of a heartbreak. You may be on your way out of a break, or you may be beyond the break. That's what our YouTube channel is about, how to live life beyond a devastating break or a break in a success. We live from success to success, but how do you live in between successes? There's a break there. So we provide tools here on our YouTube channel just for that, to support you in being the best that you can be at all times. And yes, do we trip and fall? Yes. Do we fall back? Yes. Do we get discouraged? Yes. But when you have tools to shut, we talk about this a lot. When you have tools, you can go further faster. You don't have to stay down as long. Your downtime is shortened. It's not months and years. You know, when you have tools, you have something to jar you back to life, something to shift you back into your success reality, into the dreams, ideas, and desires that you have, and the goals that you have for yourself. When we talk about peace, a lot of times it blows over, it goes over our head. We don't really put a lot of emphasis on it. We know about peace. We know it's favorable. It sounds nice. We know that it's something that people would like to have. It's not something that people don't want. Those are the surface experiences of peace. When we talk about peace as an attractive thinker and a visionary, we slap a value on it. We put a value on peace, which amps up its necessity in our lives. It amps the definition. It makes it not just more desirable, but necessary. Tichet, talk to us today about peace disturbance, the break that we need.
Yes, absolutely. So, like you said, peace is necessary. I think peace is the most undervalued treasure that we have, right? Because so many things depend on us being at peace. Peace is alignment with your higher self, with your spirit, with God. Peace is alignment. Peace allows you to be a vibrational match for the things that we have been praying for because peace puts you in alignment with it. When you are at peace, your life flows a little bit better. There's less restrictions, there's less limitations when you are at peace. This is why peace is important. So if you can imagine, Dr. Toni, your life being a balloon, right? And in that balloon, you know how you see the big balloons and it got teddy bears and other balloons in it and things like that. And it's really pretty and it's really big. That's your life, right? There's an air that is holding that balloon open. um that energy, the energy, the spirit of God is the air that's holding everything open. It is what's making the balloon expanded. Is if you take out the spirit, that balloon is null and void, right? Same thing with our bodies. If you take out the spirit, our physical bodies are null and void, right? Because we are a spirit that is living in a body. Okay. And so when we look at those balloons and what makes the difference between one balloon and another is how the spirit is filled up in it. Okay. And so when you think of this, when we say the spirit, we have to look at that we are multidimensional beings, right? We are multifaceted people, especially attractive thinkers, visual encouragers. We have so many sides to us. And there is the spirit, and then there is the ego. The spirit, if we had to look at a physical part of it, would represent the heart, and then the mind would represent the ego, right? Because the ego is the false identity of the self. It is what we think we are. It is the who I am as opposed to this physical body, how I identify. So that's the mind. But the real you is in your heart. This is why you have to protect your heart at all costs. Out of it are the issues of life. Okay, so when you are following your heart, you're following peace because by default, your heart is at peace. It moves, it beats, it's what helps you keep alive. So if we are a balloon and we have all these things inside of us, we have, you know, the different ideas, the blessings, the power, the purpose for which we took on this balloon. You know, it matters what the purpose of that balloon is. It matters the purpose of this physical body, right? So you allow yourself to be inflated enough with the spirit that you allow things to be put in you, gifts and, you know, talents and blessings. You allow all these things to be in you based on how your spirit moves inside, right? And it allows you to become grand and big. This is why we say you're great, you're big, you're powerful because you have allowed the spirit to move within you So much so that it allowed you to see greatness in your life, and it start exposing all of these great things, gifts, talents, and stuff, and ideas and desires within you. Sometimes we underestimate why we have those desires. Sometimes we don't have those desires just because, it's the thing to want. Sometimes we have those desires because those desires are in alignment with what the spirit inside is trying to do, right? And so when you allow anything and anyone, including yourself, to disrupt your peace, you're putting a hole in your balloon. What happens when you have a hole in your balloon? Everything that's within it gets suffocated. And then the balloon is no longer able to operate the way that it's designed to operate. The air in it can't even move the way it's designed to move because it's what's in you starts seeping out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so all the gifts and stuff that's in the balloon starts being suffocated because it can't move freely without the air being in it in its fullness. Peace is the most valuable thing we could have. It is the prerequisite of our greatness, of our power, of our joy. It is it should be valued and protected. Your most treasured possession, right, is your peace. So when we walk around here without peace being open, and somebody who's toxic come in our life and they just speaking out of their limitations and things like that, and we connect with that person. This is why you can't cast your pearls on swine. You cannot put your greatness upon toxic people. You can't put your dreams, your visions, your goals, your business ideas, your desires, your heart among toxic people. And once you recognize someone is toxic, you got to move accordingly, because if you put a balloon next to a pin, it's going to pop it. So you don't move your precious balloon with all your gifts and stuff to something that is sharp, that has a potential to pop it. So when you start noticing all your gifts inside, that value goes up, right? And the more that value goes up, the more you recognize the different gifts and stuff going in there, the more the air improves in your balloon, which is your physical body. We were meant to have a wonderful experience with the physical body. Like I said, the heart, the spirit, the mind, the ego. We needed them to come together to create a human experience, but it was supposed to be a great human experience. This life is not supposed to be just about pain and sorrow and problems and working and money. And it's not supposed to just be about those things, right? We're supposed to have a full experience, because in the spirit, by default, we are love. Our energy is love and peace and joy. This is why when you feel that peace, is most likely because you are the most connected to your spirit. But when you start doubting who you are, and you start negating yourself, the things that you desire, and you start doing that negative self-talk, it disconnect you from the spirit. And that's where you feel that downward energy, because you move more towards the ego, who thinks the self is the false identity of the self is the things that it has, the things that it's doing. It thinks it's this physical body. So when we look at this physical body and be like, okay, well, I don't like the way I look, we're disconnecting from the self, because the spirit self knows we're greater than our body. It knows that we're more than the things that we have. We're more than the problem that we have. We're more than the people we associate with. And so when you have your peace, you move more towards the balance of the spirit and the ego. When you let someone disrupt your peace, it moves you more towards the ego. Your ego will start judging. It will start making sure that it start fighting to keep itself alive. So it start taking offenses that's not even given out. And then you start overthinking, and your ego grows more and more and more, right? So when you are at peace, your spirit moves towards love. When you have peace, your balloon is open, so the spirit of love can move freely and dance within you. That energy can flow, so that your gifts and stuff is protected, and the gifts that's in there is displayed beautifully. We were meant by default to live a life of peace, joy, and abundance because the spirit lives there. So if you're not at peace and you're not living a life of joy, abundance, and gratefulness and power and all that stuff, gratitude is necessary too, Dr. Toni. If you're not moving in the direction of your default way of being, you got to check your ego. You got to make sure your ego knows that it's not identified with the things that's happening to you. It's not identified with the people around you, what you have, or even what you look like. It's not identified with that. Your heart is what matters, because your heart is your balloon. It carries your peace. So you can't let people break your heart. Right? And I say let because when you connect with people so much so that they have the ability to break your heart, that is a disruption right there. That's a disruption of your peace, because you can't identify with the people. When you get to a place where you identify fully with the spirit, you're able to let go. You're able to let go of anything and everything that does not identify with you. And anything that identifies with you will serve you. Anything that doesn't will disrupt you. So your discernment starts to increase in this thing, because there's more at stake here. Your discernment starts to increase, and you start to see what serves you and what doesn't. And then you stop questioning it. So this is why it's important for us to have our peace, because our peace allows us, it ushers in the clarity, it ushers in the power, it ushers in what the meaning and the purpose that we have on our life, so that we can see it clearly without distraction. Water is the most reflective when it's at peace. Yeah. And how much are we water? 75% water.
My God, talk to Tichet.
With 75% water, water is the most reflective of the universe, of nature. We are most reflective of God when we are at peace. Go to a water. If it's disturbed, you can't see yourself in it. If it's not disturbed, you can look in yourself in it and have yourself a Lion King moment. Remember who you are. You know, and so we have to allow ourselves to, and down the line, Dr. Toni, I'm gonna really get in this thing, because we have to allow ourselves to see the value of peace and what it brings. It is your most, if you don't get nothing else from me today, I want you to understand that your peace is your most valued possession. It's the most valuable thing you have. That is a part of your currency. You don't go over giving away money to everything and everybody without just cause. You don't go giving your energy to everything and everybody without just cause. You don't go giving your peace away. You got to protect it at all costs, because if you put it against the wrong thing, you're going to pop your balloon. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
Oh my God, Tichet, we have to do a part 2 for this topic, because you have really opened up something here that I feel as though the attractive thinker generation and visionaries need on their entrepreneurial journey, or through any type of change or transformation that they desire to manifest in their lives. This topic of peace, we're going to go so deep with this that you're going to understand how valuable it is, and you're going to also put it as a priority, as number one in your life, on your heart, in your spirit, because you're going to understand its worth. You're going to understand its value. A lot of times people don't seek peace. They don't prioritize peace, meaning they don't choose peace. They don't even know that that's an option. We're going to talk about that. I'm so excited. We're going to get into part 2 on next week, but I want you to listen to this episode again. Listen to this message again, so that your mind and heart will be open for the part 2 that's coming next week. And also so that you will begin to allow clarity to come in. Peace opens the door to clarity. So you have 7 days between this message and the message of part 2 next week for you to open that door allow peace to come in so that clarity can come, and you'll have some experiences that you can post in the comments section. We would love to hear what your experience is, because as a life coach, I always say we do work on with our time together, being on a call, in person, virtual or whatever, but the real work takes place after the call, after this message. This is where the real work is going to take place. So have your attractive thinker notebook handy so that you can capture what is coming up when you begin to open the door to peace and place peace as the top priority on the pedestal of your heart. I'm going to do a quick recap, but I want you to stay tuned for next week, because we're going to do part 2 on this topic, and we're going to go deeper. Tichet, you said, now have your attractive thinker notebook handy and capture these gems. Tichet, you said peace is the most undervalued treasure that we have. You also said it's the most valuable treasure. It's undervalued and the most valuable. So it's undervalued. And I think, for a number of reasons, but for me, early on, I didn't understand the value of peace. I heard people making decisions, and I thought on the other side of the decision that they made, be it to leave a job, leave a relationship, move to another country or whatever, I thought some big hoorah was going to happen, but when they gave their story about the change, on the other side of the change was they had peace. And it caused me to go on a quest to understand the value of peace, because the change and the transformation, that the journey that they had to take to transform their lives was an extensive journey. And I was like, what an extensive journey just to end up with peace. It had to be more to it than that, until I understood the value of peace. So I'm going to share what I learned about peace so that you can have that information and experience that same transformation as well on next week when we do part 2. So you said so many things are dependent upon peace. You said peace aligns you with your desires. If your desires are on a certain frequency or certain energy or a certain level of living, how can you access those desires if you don't have peace, which is also on that certain level of living? Because when you get your desire, you imagine you're going to be happy, you're going to have peace, you're going to be calm, more calmer, you're going to be more joyful, you're going to be more satisfied. So all of those emotions are on that same level as the desire. So how are we going to get the desire if we don't have the peace, if we don't have the emotion to match it? If we don't have the energy to match it? Peace is an energy, and peace repels as well as attracts. And we're going to get into that next week. There are less restrictions and less limitations when you have peace. You said peace aligns you with clarity. Peace makes way for the flow. And where the flow is, it's just effortless. You don't, no more struggle, no more trying, no more running, ripping, no more pursuing. It's just relaxing into the flow and receiving and allowing. It's just natural. It's just how it is when you have peace and enter into that flow. Peace is the spirit that flows. You talked about ego being who we think we are, and our real identity being spirit, who we really are. So I would like for you to elaborate more on that next week. When you allow peace to be disrupted, you said it's like putting a hole in your balloon. Put a star right next to that one. Because, down through the years, we use the phrase, I'm not going to let you burst my bubble. Well, how about they're bursting your balloon when you exchange their energy for your peace, or that experience for your peace, or that circumstance for your peace, or whatever it is that you're dealing with for your peace? They're putting a hole in your balloon. Peace should be your most prized possession. When you allow, I just reviewed that one. So, okay, let's talk about this. You said you can't place your ideas and greatness on toxic people. It's like putting a pin in the balloon. And we know pins around balloons cause balloons to pop. We know that. You said the more you recognize your value, the more the value increases. There's a song to Shet that really it does something to me every time I hear it. I used to sing it a lot. Every now and then it pops up on my YouTube channel, and I sing it, and it just does something to me when I hear it. I don't know who wrote the song or who the song is by and all of that. I know Shaka Khan sings it. I love her version of the song. And she starts out, when your heart is free, it's easy to make a decision. I want you to look that up online and listen to that song. When your head is clear, you know you have good judgment. How are you going to have good judgment if your head is not clear? If your head is not clear. Stay tuned, attractive thinkers and visionaries, for part two. I'm excited to share because we're going to dive deeper in part two and really give you the tools that you need to make peace your priority. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. Tichet, please tell our audience how they can get in touch with you, the visual encourager.
You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. See you soon.
Attractive thinkers and visionaries, click this like button. Subscribe to this channel if you aren't already in the attractive thinker generation, and share this message. And we'll see you next week, because you always hear us say our life's work, that is to make your life better. It is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively. And we'll see you soon.